MonoBug was almost able to reach the 2100s on the early days of the Pokemon Champions ladder, and we're going to be trying out this MonoBug team and seeing how well it can perform. I might regret this. This is the MonoBug team in question, and you might be questioning, is this actually legit? But I do have reason to believe so, because the creator as well as the player who piloted this team and made this team also did well in Scarlet and Violet, winning a pretty big online tournament with MonoBug as well. We've actually featured that team on the channel as well. So I do believe that this is legit. Let's break down the team and see what we have. So first Pokemon up is going to be this Araquanid, and as you might notice, we are actually running a special Araquanid with a modest nature. And the idea behind this kind of Araquanid is this team, of course, is very, very weak to a few things, including fire types, mainly going to be Incineroar, but also Rock Slide. Rock Slide, a very popular move because Charizard Y is such a dominant Pokemon in the format. You kind of need something that is able to help with both. And the idea behind this Araquanid is that with Special, you don't have to worry about Intimidate. You can go for a Hydro Pump into Incineroar and actually one-shot it, which is pretty solid. And then you also have Wide Guard to play around a Heat Wave and Rock Slide that is super threatening to pretty much every single member of this team. And the EV spread, as you see on this Araquanid, max special attack because it needs all the help that it can get because it doesn't have high of a special attack stat. And the speed investment, it is able to outspeed quite a few of the Incineroars in the common format because a lot of Incineroars do tend to go generally pretty slow. Maybe they have a few speed point investment, and this one outspeeds a decent amount of them, like most of them. So it is pretty solid there. And then the rest is going to go into HP for general bulk. Water Bubble is just such a cool ability on Araquanid because even though it doesn't have the best offensive coverage in general, the fact that it halves the damage that Araquanid takes from fire type moves prevents it from getting burned, but also does increase the power of its water type moves by quite a significant amount. Yeah, that is the idea behind this Araquanid to help out with this MonoBug team. And Ice Beam with Never Melt Ice is definitely an interesting combination as well because it is able to help out and one-shot the Garchomp with that boost with the Never Melt Ice, which is kind of appreciated when they could just spam Rock Slide against you or sometimes Stone Edge. So you want to get rid of Garchomp immediately. So Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, Wide Guard, and then Sticky Web, which is able to be a hazard. And normally hazards aren't good in doubles, but it might help out because this team doesn't exactly have the best speed tiers. So that Sticky Web dropping their speed might actually be able to help out a little bit, allowing Pokemon like the Volcarona, allowing the Vivillon and the Mega Pinsir to be able to outspeed some certain threats if there was no Sticky Web or no Tailwind set up. Next Pokemon we have is the Focus Sash Vivillon, able to survive one powerful attack because it is a pretty frail Mon, and going with a max speed, max special attack variant because of course it is Focus Sash. The rest is going to go into HP, I suppose, but it is a support Pokemon on this team with the ability Compound Eyes. Vivillon actually has really great abilities in general, has fantastic ones. We are running Compound Eyes just to make the accuracy of its attacks a bit better. We're running Hurricane, a really strong flying option, which is really nice in the format, especially being able to hit Sneasler. You have Rage Powder, which is able to redirect, so you're able to support your other Pokemon. You have Sleep Powder, which of course, great move because being able to put Pokemon to sleep in potentially 2 turns every time you might actually need it, especially when you are running MonoBug. Those leaf turns are super valuable. And then Sunny Day, which is going to help out against rain teams because I think the team's already struggling into our Chaldon generally, but being able to also power up the Volcarona Heat Wave, which is pretty nice because that allows Volcarona to be more of an offensive sweeper. And again, really helping out against the rain matchup because I do think rain is really tough for the team in general. Vivillon here is supposed to be, again, a really fast Sleep Powder Mom, which is nice. Able to do some pretty good damage with Hurricane and, of course, redirects, so you can go for some setups like with the Scizor, for example. Next Pokemon we have is going to be Volcarona, a pretty solid staple in VGC history, and with the fire coverage that it does provide to this MonoBug team, it is very nice to be able to hit those steel types especially. So this Volcarona is designed quite differently from a lot of other Volcaronas. It is going to be 146 speed, which is a speed stat which is able to outspeed max speed Gardevoir, for example, but also able to outspeed max speed Basket Leech as well, assuming they're not Choice Scarf, and a few other Pokemon that we do see in the format. We also have a pretty solid amount of special defense. We don't commonly see Calm Volcarona, but it does make sense in a format where Charizard Y Gardevoir, as well as the Mega Floette, and sometimes Mega Gengar as well. Having that special defense to be able to tank those attacks is pretty solid. This Volcarona can live a Weather Ball or Air Slash from the Charizard Ys, even modest ones, as well as can even potentially survive Overheat from Timid Charizard Y, which it is a roll, but it is in the Volcarona's favor at the very least. So that is the idea behind this Volcarona. It also still is able to have a good amount of special attack because you still want it to be able to do a lot of damage, especially to those steel types like the Corviknight especially, and as well as paired with that Sunny Day with the Vivian. So you have Heat Wave for the spread fire coverage. You have Giga Drain to be able to hit the water types that are rough, like the Rotom Wash, the Basky Legion, as well as the Milotic, as well as some like chip damage into like Tyranitar, for example. And Tailwind, of course, is going to be your form of speed control on this team. Protect to keep itself around. Flame Body does give you a chance to be able to burn any foes that come into contact with Volcarona. And the Lumberry is mainly probably going to be for the Sneaslers, which of course with Dire Claw can be a little bit annoying. Next Pokemon we have is going to be a classic Swords Dance Scizor. This one going to be running the White Herb to help out against Intimidate, as well as you can self-proc it for the close combat defense drops that you take, but it is a pretty standard one with Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, Close Combat Protect. Bullet Punch, really great priority move, especially with the Technician boosting the Bullet Punch's damage output, which makes it a pretty strong attack, and especially with Swords Dance, a +2 Bullet Punch will definitely hurt opponents, especially the Gardevoirs and the Mega Floettes in the format, and of course Tyranitar, which is a huge threat to this team. Close combat, so you can actually one-shot the Tyranitar as well. Hits Excadrill, hits the Incineroars, and a bunch of Pokemon that just bug types just can't hit in general. And then of course Protect. With the EV spread, it is going to be 95 speed stat, which is able to outspeed Sneaslers under Tailwind, which in case you need to go for a close combat into them. But any Pokemon below it will also be able to outspeed as well. You want to have near max attack because of the fact that you really want those bullet punches in close combat to do a lot, especially you want +2 close combat or even +1 close combat to be able to knock out Incineroars, and then the rest going to go into HP for the general bulk for Scizor. It is able to take attacks and with one Swords Dance can actually be able to sweep certain teams. Next Pokemon is going to be the Mega Evolution of the team, going to be the Mega Pinsir, which is definitely an interesting Mega Evolution. So flying type coverage wise, it's not great defensively because it does add more rock weaknesses, heavily rock weaknesses in general. But the fact that you do have Mega Pinsir, which of course when it does Mega Evolve turns into a flying type, gets access to the Aerialate ability, and then turns those normal type moves into flying moves, adds a bit of extra base power on top of that, and going to be taking advantage of the same type attack bonus, can be pretty solid. Unfortunately, Pinsir did lose access to Return and Frustration from prior generations, but will be opting for Body Slam instead. One of the stronger normal type moves, and does have a chance to parry the opponent. And Quick Attack off an Aerialate boost is actually pretty nice, being able to threaten Pokemon like the Sneasler, Sashmons, like especially that Aerodactyl, which is pretty common. And Bullet Punch Quick Attack can actually follow up for quite a bit and get some surprise knockouts. Now, we are running Mold Breaker on the Pinsir. Pinsir actually gets access to Hyper Cutter as well, which is able to block Intimidate. But Mold Breaker on this team is mainly going to be helping out against the Rotoms. I actually initially thought the team was the Hyper Cutter set, but then I realized, oh wait, it's the Mold Breaker set. And it is going to be Mold Breaker mainly because you can actually bypass the Levitate on the Rotoms, and you can actually go for a super effective Earthquake because it will ignore the Levitate ability and threatens the Rotom Heat, which Rotom Heat is a very bad matchup for this team, and even though Rotom Heat's not a common mon, you still want to respect it, but also being able to hit Rotom Wash as well, I think is also a pretty big one too. This Mega Pinsir is also kind of EV'd interestingly, because it's actually going to focus on bulk. It's mainly going to be the HP investment as well as attack instead of like going with max speed, just to dish out as much damage as possible, and I guess have the general bulk, because otherwise not going with max speed at all, which it does actually have a decent speed stat, but across the board just going to be able to decide to tank attacks especially. And for the speed investment, it is able to outspeed non-invested Rotom, so if they only have like one investment, it won't be able to outspeed. And also when it Mega Evolves, it does speed type Timid Pelipper, but otherwise it is just going to be generally where it is going to be max attack, trying to fire off as much damage as it possibly can with its high attack stat. Final Pokemon on this team, which it really does need, is a rock type that is able to threaten the flying types, especially the Charizards, the Aerodactyls, able to threaten the fire types as well, like Rotom, Heat, Incineroar, and more. You kind of need this. It's a really important mon. Going to be that rock bug type Cleaver. And Sharpness is a cool ability which is able to power up most of the moves that it does have by 50%. The only one it's not boosting on this set is going to be U-Turn. So Stone Axe is a cool move because it's boosted by Sharpness, a rock type move that also sets up Stealth Rocks when you use it. So very nice against those fire types, especially that Charizard Y. You have that Aerial Ace, which is able to hit the Sneaslers in the format. U-Turn as a way to pivot around and get some damage. Maybe you need to break a sash. Maybe you need Cleaver just to get some chip damage and then bring it back later to finish off an opponent. That's pretty solid. And then Night Slash. And you might be wondering why Night Slash, but Night Slash actually does have a role to KO non-bulky Basculegions, which is pretty nice. So if you get like the rocks damage, the Night Slash will KO the Basculegion in an endgame, as well as just like being able to U-turn, of course, and then Night Slash, because this Cleaver is able to outspeed Jolly and Max Speed Basculegion, which is the investment 144 speed stat wise. And then the rest is going to go into max attack, and then the rest is just going to go into HP. Really important mon against Aerodactyl, against Charizard, against all the fire types, all the flying types. Cleaver, super big role on this team because it is able to set up rocks. It is able to chip away at the opponent, and really important into some Basculegions. So how to use the team? Well, there are quite a few things that you can do with this team. Of course, you do have the Vivian plus the Volcarona mode, which is a pretty solid option depending on the weathers, especially into the rain mode. Having the option for that sunny day, just being able to go for that sunny day, prevent our child from going for Electroshot, as well as making inaccurate hurricanes for the Pelipper, can be pretty solid, but mainly being able to power up the Volcarona is pretty solid. You could go for Sleep Powder plus Tailwind into a sunny day heat wave and really be able to rip the damage with the Volcarona. Then you also have other modes as well. I think Scizor is a pretty good one here. Setting up Swords Dance is pretty solid in the game just to get as much damage as you possibly can. You could pair it with a lot of these mons, such as the Wide Guard or Rockrunnit, that a Rockrunnit is able to threaten the Incineroar and one-shot it with Hydro Pump, especially if you want to bank on yours being faster, which sometimes with this team, you kind of have to get everything right and hope it goes your way. You could also lead it with the Vivian that could also go for the Rage Powder support to redirect the attacks from the Scizor so it can get that Sword Stance a bit safer. You also have combinations that you can go for with the Cleaver that can lead. Just go for the Stone Axe immediately, especially into Aerodactyl teams. You can lead Cleaver, go for Stone Axe, and then have one of your priority mons also be able to finish off the Aerodactyl, or the Aerodactyl is just always in range of a priority move after that Stone Axe, which can be very nice in certain situations. Then you also have just being able to lead the Volcarona for that Tailwind speed control, paired with anything else like that Scizor that could appreciate the close combat initially, especially into like a Tyranitar, or the Arachnid that could appreciate the Hydro Pump in certain matchups. And Scizor plus Pinsir isn't a bad lead because Bullet Punch Quick Attack can actually threaten quite a bit, as well as threaten the pressure with Swords Dance Scizor having the ability to set up. Overall, I'd say with this team, Scizor is going to be a main component for sweeping in general. Arachnid's going to be more of a support, and of course that Hydro Pump to get rid of Incineroar, and Ice Beam is going to handle the Garchomps, while Wide Guard is going to be mainly going to be for denying the spread moves. You have the Volcarona, which is going to be nice for the Tailwind and can be a sweeper if you do have that Sun condition. Really important in Corviknight matchups as well. And then Cleaver, going to be really important against Basculegion, Charizard, as well as Aerodactyl. A lot of Pokemon in the format that, of course, do threaten this team. Cleaver is going to be really key with setting up the rocks with Stone Axe, getting that chip damage for the rest of the mons to clean up. And Pinsir probably going to be in the back maybe to help revenge KO things. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, I'll link them down below in the description, and we'll see how this goes. Let's try some games out with MonoBug. Alright, we have Gardevoir, Incineroar, Rotom Wash, Aegislash, Como, and Sinistra. Let's see, because dealing with the Como, I guess it's fine. We do have Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir is actually pretty decent here, although the Rotom is going to be a little bit tough. Scizor is pretty good against the Gardevoir, and it's okay against the Incineroar. I guess we have some things. Volcarona is really good against the Aegislash, and the Gardevoir potentially. What am I going here, though? Am I bringing Vivian? Because Vivian is pretty good with Hurricane. It's pretty decent here. I'm a little bit worried about the Incineroar, though. I don't think I need the Cleaver. Cleaver doesn't do much. Pinsir I like. Scizor I like. I guess the question is, am I bringing Volcarona or am I bringing the Araquanid just so I have another answer to... Actually, I need Volk, don't I? I do need Volk. I think it's Vivian Instant or Vivian plus Pinsir? Or maybe it's Vivian Scizor. I think Vivian Scizor for the Swords Dance potential, Pinsir plus Volcarona back. I don't want to lead Volcarona because Volcarona is just really weak to the instant lead. So I don't know what we're going to see here, but I can stall out with some Sleep Powder turns. Let's find out here because it is pretty scary. We're going to see Rotom Wash and Incineroar. Okay, that makes sense versus Scizor and the Vivian. Okay. I wanted to Wisp on the Rotom, but I do like the idea of just going for a Swords Dance with Scizor immediately and a Sleep Powder attempt into the Incineroar. A lot of them are into the Lumberry set. So I'm going to go for Swords Dance immediately with the Scizor. So if I get +2, I can really threaten the KO onto Incineroar close combat. So that wouldn't be as much of a problem. I could see Fake Out coming out. I could see Flare Blitz attempt. Fake Out Thunderbolt into a slot would make sense, but I don't have Protect on Vivian. So let's see. They could also Hard Switch out, but they would be eating a Sleep Powder. Oh, okay. They did go for the Flare Blitz. Luckily, they went for Volt Switch. It's Scarf Rotom confirmed. Okay, that's good to know. And also, that's probably difficult as well as like maybe manageable because Scarf Rotom is a Pokemon that I'm not a big fan of dealing when I have a lot of weaknesses in the back, but it should be fine. Aegislash comes in. I wonder if it's Shadow Sneak. We do get Sleep Powder off into the Incineroar. So that's not too bad. I wonder if you're Shadow Sneak Aegislash. We will get a Swords Dance up with our Scizor. And I think this turn we want to just Sleep Powder the Aegislash. Because if it's Shadow Sneaks, it's Shadow Sneaks. That's all right. And we're going to close combat the Incineroar. Because Aegislash is the main close combat switch other than Gardevoir. And we have Bullet Punch for Gardevoir. So I will go for close combat easily. They do go for Shadow Sneak, it looks like. Okay, that's fine. I don't need Vivian to win the game. So that's acceptable. As Vivian goes down. And we do get a close combat off into the Incineroar. Which, are you Chople? Oh, okay. I need you to stay asleep, it looks like, for another turn. Actually, that did us so much damage. It almost picked up the knockout, which is impressive. Okay, it stays asleep. That is very fortunate. Very fortunate. Because I can actually go Volcarona and set up Tailwind. So this is actually a better spot than before. So Volcarona can come in and click Tailwind, which is super solid. Because I can Tailwind here. And I can go for a Bullet Punch into the Incineroar slot to take the knockout. Unless they switch out Incineroar, but what switches in on what would have been the close combat? They went Rotom? Okay. I guess they didn't think I was going to close combat again. Aegislash does go for the stance change, which is fine, and goes for King Shield. Alright. I do get a Bullet Punch into the Rotom, which is going to be good damage. Very good damage, actually. And now I can threaten Heat Wave into close combat, which is pretty good, actually. I'm trying to figure out what the last Pokemon is. If it's Como, we're fine. If it's Sisha, it's fine. If it's Gardevoir, we're fine. If we get rid of the Rotom here, which I think we get rid of Rotom with Heat Wave plus close combat double up. So I'm willing to go for that. I think we should outspeed the Rotom, but we'll find out. Incineroar for the Aegislash, that makes sense. I do go for the Heat Wave plus close combat. I think they're scared of overheat on the Volcarona, so that makes sense. Heat Wave comes out into the Incineroar, takes a knockout, and Rotom does go down low. Let's see, who's faster? Should be Scizor. Oh no, it's faster. But they went for Hydro Pump. I think Volcarona lived Hydro Pump because we're calm Volcarona, but that's definitely fortunate. We KO the Rotom, and now we're in a phenomenal spot. So we have gotten a bit lucky, but I mean, we are using MonoBug. We do have to get a bit lucky. Although I don't think like a lot of the luck factors other than the instant staying asleep has been necessary. So Aegislash gonna come in, and what's the final mon? No way you brought Gardevoir, right? They actually brought Gardevoir. Huh. They got Flame Body, which is a little bit annoying, but I mean, at the end of the day, we click Heat Wave, and We click Bullet Punch. I mean, the Gardevoir Protect is super obvious. I think we just protect Scizor. I don't think they're likely to Psychic here. They probably... I'd assume it's going to be Protect Shadow Ball into the Scizor slot. I am, again, Calm Volcarona, so I should be fine to take a Taxi. I think they definitely went for the Protect here. Yep. Okay, good. As I anticipated. We get the Heat Wave into the Aegislash for good damage. And they're invulnerable in Blade form if they did target the Scizor, so I do guarantee the win here probably. Or not guarantee, but I'm in a very likely spot I win. We get the Burn, which is unfortunate for the Aegislash. Were you physical, Aegislash? Oh, they were physical. Okay, so Shadow Claw was like never a threat that I really had to worry about. All right, beautiful. The match is going to be forfeit. Yeah. I think we got a little bit over lucky, but I don't think again. Like, Hydro Pump would have been scary. I guess it puts us in range of Shadow Sneak. Does that change the game? It does, but it depends on how they play it because I still have Pinsir with Earthquake, and it is physical Aegislash. If it's not special, Scizor is actually okay at taking the hits, and I still have Pinsir in the back, so I think I actually had an okay position regardless, but we'll take it. All right, we have Blastoise, Incineroar, Como, Altaria, Klefki, and Gengar. This is definitely a unique team. Although our team's very unique. We have 2 Mega Evolutions. Well, 3. Gengar, Altaria, and Blastoise. I'd probably say that Altaria and Blastoise are probably Megas. And Gengar isn't, but I guess he could run like White Herb, Shell Smash, Blastoise, right? Which is actually really concerning because this team doesn't have the best answers to water types. All right. So I'm going to need answers into that ASAP. I actually really like my Araquanid lead. Araquanid's really good against this team. Is it Vivian Araquanid that can threaten Sleep Powder and Hurricane? It might be. I can also lead Pinsir, which is also pretty decent. Volcarona seems good for the Tailwind, but otherwise it's not that great. Or do I want to go Vivian? Vivian's not bad because of Como and Hurricane, but otherwise it's not really that great other than Sleep Powder. I feel like I need Speed Control though. I think I need Speed Control for the Blastoise. So I think maybe have Pinsir back. Araquanid, Volcarona with Scizor and Pinsir. I want Scizor so I can have a backup to the Incineroar on their side. And also Bullet Punch can clean up weakened things like the Blastoise if I get some chip, which I think is important. Alright, Gengar, Incineroar. Are you... There's no way... Oh, it could be Perish. Altaria gets Perish Song. Is this Perish Trap? Oh no. If it's Perish Trap, that's pretty bad. I don't have answers to Perish. Oh no. Well, we're clicking Hydro Pump and we're clicking Heat Wave. It might be Perish. It is Mega Gengar. I think it's regular Altaria and they have Perish and it's like Cloud 9 Altaria. Oh no. Oh wait, they targeted the Volk with Fake Out. Wait, that... Okay. Hit the Hydro, 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 hit the Hydro. Nice. Araquanid already doing more than a Dragonite did if you watched that video. Goodbye, Incineroar. A huge knockout into the Incineroar turn 1. Okay, that's a massive KO. I did have like a suspicion it could be Perish, but I didn't actually think it was, but that does make sense. Okay, because Altaria does get Perish Song for anyone wondering. Blastoise comes in. It's probably Fake Out. I'm just going to Hydro Pump Heat Wave. Yeah, because even if they protect, it's not too bad. What does the Blastoise do, though? Okay, they double protect. That's fine. What could they switch in for Gengar in the back? Like, what could they have for a switch for Gengar in the back? That's my question. They could have Disable. They could go for Disable. This is probably... Actually, this could be Flip Turn. This could be flip turn Blastoise. So do I want to pin the knockout in a Gang or the damage in a Gengar? Or is it better for me? I think it's better for me to target down the Blastoise with Hydro Pump. It's either disable coming out into the Araquanid, or I think it's a flip turn strat. So I'll go for a Heat Wave because I do need damage regardless. And I'll go for the Hydro Pump. Yeah, this has to be flip turn Blastoise. Altaria, that makes sense. Oh, if I Ice Beam, that would have been crazy, but this is still fine. Okay, Heat Wave. Assuming that my Araquanid is slower than the Blastoise, which I assume so. Okay. Araquanid Part 2. Araquanid Part 2. Oh, that's a nice Flame Body burn actually onto the Blastoise because I need the chip damage to break through that. Also, if we hit the Hydro, we put it into Bullet Punch range, which is huge. Gengar. Hit Hydro. Ah, you know what? I tried. Okay. So Sticky Web doesn't do anything here. I can win, it's just like really difficult. Their best play is to switch out Altaria into Blastoise. And protect. Can I punish that? Oh, I don't think I can. Maybe Giga Drain Hydro Pump can KO it. If it's not Citrus for some reason. Oh, did they just double protect? Oh, I should have Tailwinded then. Okay, how winnable is this? It's winnable, it's just like super tough. The Hydro Pump would have just made things so much easier because I could have Tailwind up this turn and it would have been a really good spot. But I did have to hit like a few Hydros in this. Araquanid goes down. Scizor and Pinsir. Okay, on the bright side, I don't really need to... I think it kind of comes down to... Does Pinsir Oko the Blastoise after Bullet Punch damage? I think if I had Return, maybe, but I don't think Body Slam would. Because if I lock in the Gengar and it can't switch, I win. Or if I KO Altaria, because they might have given me the Altaria here. Wait, because they'll perish their Gengar. Gengar will have the Perish Song counter and can't switch. So I Bullet Punch the Altaria. Oh, please don't be Citrus. Okay. Wait, if I KO Altaria, we have a chance. Body Slam. Okay, we have a chance. We have to beat the Blastoise, but winnable. Because the thing is, with Gengar locked into Perish on the countdown, I win if I get rid of Blastoise because Gengar is faster than both my Pokemon. That means the speed order currently is... Gengar, then Pinsir, then Scizor. I think my best place to close combat the Blastoise and... Are they disable? They could... If they have Fake on the Blastoise, they can Fake out. We saw Flip Turn, we saw Protect. I guess I could Swords Dance as well. I think I should Swords Dance here. Swords Dance and Body Slam. Are you Fake Out and Disable? We'll find out, because they could Fake Out. Okay, they target my Pinsir though. Okay, wait, that's huge. Substitute, that doesn't matter. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think it's going to come down to does Blastoise get a double protect? because we just need to knock out the Blastoise. Oh, man. Wait, hold on. I am faster than my Pinsir. I could KO the Gengar here with Bullet Punch Quick Attack. I think, well, Blastoise should always protect here. Because your best odds are always going for protect and then double protect. With the Blastoise. The Gengar could go for disable. They risked Body Slam into close combat, KO the Blastoise and win. Like, even if I like get this call right, they still have to 30. They could still go for a double protect the next turn. Why did they risk it? They went for a life do. Life do didn't do anything. Oh. Overthought the situation. We saw protect on the Blastoise, it's over. If I body slam, I think if I quick attack plus close combat, I win the game into the Blastoise. Because if they have disable, they can't go for disable. Gengar lost to Encore in this gen. I can't believe they risked the Blastoise like that. I actually cannot believe they risked the Blastoise like that. Maybe I should have disrespected, because I do think the optimal play was switching out the Altaria and the Blastoise, so you had to fake out pressure and protecting the Gengar on the last turn. Man, I outplayed myself. I should have just went for close combat plus quick attack. I think quick attack close combat was gonna knock out the Blastoise. Because +2 close combat does hit hard, but I thought they could do some shenanigan like protect Blastoise, Shadow Ball to a KO like Scizor. So I felt like I had to like kind of get that read right. Unfortunately, did not get that read right. That's why I doubled into the Gengar, by the way. All right, we have Incineroar, Sinistcha, Talonflame, King Gambit, Eternal Floette, and Garchomp. Okay, Talonflame. Is a problem. Talonflame is a problem. All right. Scizor is really good here because it's able to threaten the Floette and the King Gambit as well as the Incineroar. Garchomp's a little bit concerning, but I think it's overall okay. I don't really need the Volcarona much. I figured this matchup, it does help out against King Gambit, and it does give me a switch, but otherwise it doesn't really do too much. I think a Rockland is pretty decent here. Yeah, I think a Rockland is pretty decent. I think lead-wise, I'm probably just going to go with Pinsir plus the Cleaver lead. Or maybe it's a Rockland lead. The problem with a Rockland is I don't have a switch into a flying type attack, and I can't even protect it. So I think we go with our Scarf Cleaver, and we see how the rest plays out. Because we need to knock out the Talonflame turn 1 with the Stone Axe. And if we don't, we're in trouble. If they don't lead Talonflame, I get the Stone Axe, which means that I get Stealth Rocks up, which means that Talonflame probably goes down to Quick Attack and won't have access to Gale Wings because its Gale Wings would be broken. So maybe that is my best odds here. Let's find out. What are you leading? What are you leading? Incineroar Floette. Okay, that's interesting when I had... Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure. I did make the Pinsir the right ability, right? I copied the... Wait, why is it Mold Breaker? Oh, it's Mold Breaker EQ for Rotom. I thought I was Hyper Cutter. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize that originally. Well, that's actually kind of a problem. That's kind of a problem, actually. Oh, no. If they fake out plus Moonblast, we're in trouble. Yeah, we're in trouble, all right. I'm double switching to a Araquanid, and my Scizor, so I can threaten the Floette maybe the next turn. I'll live Moonblast with both of these Pokemon at the very least. And I don't think they raw Flare Blitz my Pinsir. They're probably going to go for Fake Out plus Moonblast or Fake Out Calm Mind. Those are all viable options. Now, we'll find out the next turn if... let's just say this could still be very scary. They do Fake Out my Cleaver, which makes sense. Is this Moonblast double up? Gleam. Okay, that's fine. I actually take less damage, which is preferable, but it's still a lot. Man, I wish I'd let it something else. But, I mean, I do outspeed Incineroar. The question is, does the Floette survive Bullet Punch? We'll find out together. Even if it does, we might still have chances because it'd probably be in Quick Attack range. We're going to Bullet Punch Hydro Pump. It does look like a lot of special attack investment, but we'll see. We're going to see the swap here into Garchomp. Okay, we do get a big Hydro off. They protect. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. As I do go for the Bullet Punch into the Floette. And we do go for Hydro. We missed a Garchomp. That's not a great spot. We're going to Wide Guard here to prevent Dazzling... Actually, they can't even Earthquake. They're Stomping Tantrum. Dazzling Gleam? Also, that's a really bad miss. Because I could, of course, just go for... They could go back to Incin, which is also fair. I could see Floette maybe switching to Incin, maybe Garchomp attacking the Scizor. There's a lot of what ifs, though. I think I just go for Ice Beam and I go for Bullet Punch. Because I do have White Herb on my Scizor, so Bullet Punch will be able to at least still threaten the Floette. Maybe I should have Wide Guarded, but this is fine still. Because I do have Cleaver to threaten the Incin and the Floette. Bullet Punch. Oh, that was nowhere near close. That is bulky. Moonblast. Okay, this is still fine. This is still fine. Not like a burning fire at all. We go to Cleaver. We get a Stone Axe, hopefully. Into the Floette and get my rocks up. Yeah. We gotta double the Floette because Floette's actually dangerous attack-wise. I also still need Cleaver to deal with the Incin. Like, I mean, let's just say the situation is bad. This is where the Hydro Pump miss might actually really hurt us too. But we do get the Bullet Punch, no Fake Out. Hold on, if we get the Stone Axe off, this is really huge damage. Okay, we land the Stone Axe. Can't believe that lived on one. We get the rocks, but I don't think that's enough because they Flare Blitz kill my Scizor. I don't think I can win with Pinsir against a Garchomp. Well, on the bright side, Talonflame goes down. Do Stone Axe twice. Garchomp. Should be Talon. Flame. Yep. If I hit the Hydro Pump, I think we were fine. I actually think we were fine if we hit the Hydro. Man. I think here we have to Stone Axe to Talonflame, because Talonflame does destroy us. I guess my win con's just dodging Rock Slide? I think we detect Pinsir first and Stone Axe to Talonflame. Okay, it's Scarf Garchomp, not surprising. Unlucky. The thing is, when I'm playing a team challenge like this, I do need the RNG to go somewhat decent to have a chance, man. And I feel like if any of the other things happened, if I hit the Hydro and the Garchomp, it might be in quick attack range. Oh, if I got the KO into instant, it might have been huge. I wasn't sure if that would even KO the instant, but yeah. Is it winnable? I need double Rock Slide Miss now and then Body Slam full pair to Garchomp, so maybe it's possible, but it's super unlikely. Like when there's an out, but my luck has already been pretty bad. Yeah, they hit Rock Slide both times. Pinsir survived, but I mean, did it help? Not really. Unless a Talon has only inaccurate attacks. Which I assume if you brought Talonflame, you probably have one accurate attack. No, it's dual wing beat, so I could have dodged that. Maybe Crypt Body Slam, but that probably doesn't knock out... Maybe it knocks out Chomp with Adamant Nature. Then I could quick attack the Talonflame. But... unlucky. Unlucky. Not a great start. Hopefully the luck turns around later though, because it's not a great start. Alright, a brand new day and hopefully the luck is better. We have Primarina, Armarouge, Kangaskhan, Farigiraf, Maushold, and Skarmory. So 2 Mega Evolutions, Kangaskhan and Skarmory it looks like, and triple normal, which is pretty interesting. I don't like dealing with the Armarouge, that's going to be scary, as well as the Skarmory of course. Skarmory with Brave Bird is going to be a little bit problemsome, but we do have some okay tools here. Not a big fan of Cleaver. Cleaver doesn't do too much against this team. Scizor does pretty well. Unfortunately, the Giraffe is going to stop Bullet Punch, so something I'm going to have to be concerned about. I am a bit worried about the Skarmory in general. My wasted damage Skarmory are not exactly that great, so I actually might even leave Pinsir behind, which isn't ideal here. It's either I leave Pinsir behind or I leave Scizor behind. But Scizor is one of my only normal resists for Kang, which would be pretty ideal here. So not exactly a big fan of that. I think I go with Scizor plus Vivian with Volcarona, Araquanid back. Because I need a Araquanid for the Armarouge, and I need Volcarona for the Skarmory. I also think Vivian kind of needs to sleep powder the Skarmory in this game, or I'm going to have some problems. Luckily, they can't have both Mega Kang and Skarmory in this matchup, but they could go Mega Kang and Skarmory just because Skarmory is decent against my team, because Brave Bird probably hits pretty hard. Maushold plus the Farigiraf, okay. Versus Scizor and Vivian. Pretty interesting what could happen here. I like the idea of setting up a Swords Dance with my Scizor against this passively. The problem is if it's Population Bomb Maushold, because if it's Population Bomb Maushold, I do lose Vivian, which is not ideal. I would get a free switch to Araquanid, but maybe that's alright. I think that might be alright. I think I'm just going to attempt to Sleep Power to Farigiraf and just go for a Swords Dance. They go for a Taunt into the Vivian, which makes sense, as they are probably going for... Well, they risk Bug Bite on the Farigiraf, but this is fine. We do get Swords Dance up with Scizor. So Scizor is in a pretty good offensive position, as we're going to see Trick Room come out. Okay. Are we going to see... Does Farigiraf get manual Psychic Terrain? I could see this being Psychic Terrain for E-Force from the... What's it called? The Armarouge. I think I want to Swords Dance again with the Scizor, which is a bit crazy, but I think it might work here, and I'm just going to go for Hurricane. I could see this being Reader Follow Me Maushold. I don't know if Farigiraf would Hard Switch or set up the Psychic Terrain, but I think Hurricane is pretty fine and reasonable into the Giraffe. Yeah, they do go for Follow Me. So this actually works out. I'm selling out their Trick Room while they're playing pretty passive, and that actually is pretty good for me. Yeah, it's Psychic Terrain. Okay, I had a feeling that there's something with Armarouge with Expanding Force. So this is actually pretty ideal. I do get a Swords Dance up with my Scizor. That's pretty solid. Okay. And Hurricane into the Mouse. And we get a Confusion. Okay. Which is pretty decent. I still am trying to figure out how I exactly play around this spot, but I think it's alright. I think I'm going to I'm going to reposition and protect Scizor, bring in a Rockrunnid. Let me just double check. My stats, yes, my Rockrunnid is slower than the Scizor, so I can outspeed KO the Mousehold and then get a close combat off in a Giraffe potentially for a double knockout situation, which would be nice. So I'm going to bring out a Rockrunnid and protect the Scizor. Let's see what they end up going for. Is this another Follow Me and maybe Expanding Force if they have it? It looks like Follow Me here. Yeah, it's Follow Me. Perfect. And the Giraffe is going to go for Expanding Force. So, okay. Aerodactyl has good special defense. We should take this pretty decently. We also have wide guard if we get 2-shot the next turn. Yeah, Aerodactyl should live the next one, which is good. Okay. Now we want to get a close combat off into the Giraffe, and we want to go for the Hydro Pump into the Mousehold. This could go bad if we miss Hydro Pump, but you know, in some games we do have to hit Hydro Pump, so that's what we're going to do. They're going to go for Expanding Force. Do hang on with Aerodactyl, and Scizor absolutely eats that. Not great. I at least get rid of the Giraffe because they didn't follow me. So I do. Oh, wow. That's +4 close combat. I guess that's Friend Guard Mouse for you, but that's still crazy to me. Okay. Mouse is confused. They go for Taunt and a Rockrunnid to prevent the wide guard. Okay, that makes sense. But this is actually pretty alright for me. Because now I can actually threaten a double KO here. Or do I threaten the double KO? Last turn of Trick Room. I'd ideally like a free switch. Back into Vivian, so I was threaten Sleep Powder. I think a Rockrunnid's job is pretty done because we won't have Trick Room up anymore. I have an answer for Scarm in my Volcarona if it's in the back, so let's go for a Hydro Pump and a close combat. This is Follow Me. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And an Expanding Force. Scizor eats, but we won't eat the next one, which is the concerning part. I wonder how slow the Armourouge is. I wonder if it's min speed Armourouge, because that would actually help out a lot here. We do get a close combat off into the Mousehold, which will take the knockout. Beautiful. The question is, do I want to go Volcarona, or do I want to go out into my Vivian? Sleep Powder is threatening immense pressure. I think it's Vivian. I think it's Vivian. Let's see who they bring out. Armourouge. Okay. So this is actually the best ideal turn I could ask for, because I can go for a close combat into Farigiraf, and I can throw off this Compound Ice Sleep Powder into the Armourouge. Unless the Armourouge is Lumberry, we should be pretty fine. Vivian outspeeds Armourouge, unless it's Scarf for some reason, but I don't think you would run Scarf on this team if you're trying to dedicate the Trick Room plus the Expanding Force. So we will go for a Sleep Powder and Armourouge and try to threaten the KO into Giraffe here with close combat. Nice. We land Sleep Powder. Huge. No Lumberry. Beautiful. We do get the KO into Giraffe. No more Trick Room. And then we just have to deal with the last Pokemon. Beautiful. Also, Armourouge moved before Scizor, right? So that is a little bit concerning. Oh, no, never mind. It didn't. Okay, that's actually super ideal. Psychic Terrain disappears, which does matter for the last Pokemon. Oh, it's Primarina. Okay. Do I think +4 Bullet Punch KOs the Primarina? Or should I just go for a close combat plus a... I could double up the Armourouge with close combat plus a Hurricane. Close combat is 60 base power. Bullet Punch would be 90, but it's resisted, so half. Yeah, close combat's stronger. We go for a close combat Hurricane here into the Armourouge, I think, and hope to double up KOs because Prim could easily protect. We missed a Compound Eyes Hurricane. Okay. Oh my goodness, that almost KO'd the Armourouge. Oh, that was a crit. I was about to say, I was surprised that almost KO'd. Oh, thank goodness we got the multi-turn sleep. That's really good for me. Okay. I think with that, the game should be very locked. That's actually insane that we missed Compound Eye Sleep Powder, by the way. I'm pretty sure that's like a 2 to 3% chance. So, what? So, I mean, luck is balancing out, though. We did get the 2-turn. If we didn't get the 2-turn, it would have been really bad. We just Giga Drain the Armouge, and we Sleep Powder the Prim. And we'll be fine. Because then we could Sunny Day Giga Drain the Prim the next turn. Okay, Sleep Powder the Prim. Unless it's Lumberry. If it's Lumberry, it actually might screw me here, but I'm going to go off no Lumberry. Yeah. Alright, Armouge goes down to Giga Drain. Beautiful. Could have had a Hurricane Close Combat KO into Armouge, so all I had to do was Giga Drain the Prim the next turn, but yeah, this works still. Now we can go for a Giga Drain plus a Sunny Day, I think. So the power of the Hyper Voice is just doing less to my Volcarona. Because Volcarona with Calm should be able to beat the Primarina. Unless maybe it's Calm Minds. But we get 2 Giga Drains ahead of time. Because they have the Hyper Voice here. Yeah, good damage to Prim. I think we should be set. And they say sleep. Beautiful. Okay, perfect. And battle gonna be forfeit. Okay. Actually interesting. My opponent decided to bring none of their Mega Evolutions. Actually brought the Primarina. I guess I fully commit to Trick Room. I'm still surprised we didn't see the Kangaskhan or the Skarmory. I really thought Skarmory was going to be really tough for me to handle, but they decided to bring the Prim to, I guess, take full advantage of the Trick Room. So kind of curious, but it did work out really well. So Zora was able to set up. We were able to sell out Trick Room turns as they were playing passive. And yeah, even though we didn't get like the double KO like I wanted, it still was like a pretty decent spot, thankfully, with Sleep Powder helping us there. All right, we have Aerodactyl, Sneasler, Gengar, Como, Scizor, and Maushold. So it's probably Mega Gengar. Could be Mega Aerodactyl too, potentially. With Como and Maushold, so this is probably some setup here. Scizor's pretty good. Pinsir's not bad here. Scizor Pinsir is actually not a terrible lead for the most part. Cleaver is also pretty alright here because of the Stone Axe, and it does outspeed Mega Gengar. The question is, I mean, I love not facing a team of no Incineroar, but this is still kind of tricky. I think my best lead is probably just lead both Pinsir and Scizor. Yeah, I think Pinsir Scizor is probably best with Volcarona Cleaver in the back. Because I like having Volcarona for their Scizor. Tailwind's also really nice. And Cleaver just being able to outspeed my opponent's Pokemon is actually really good. And I don't really need Rocks Up. Like, the point is not to get Rocks Up. So let's see. Aerodactyl Sneasler. Okay. That's fine. As I lead Pinsir plus Scizor. Unfortunately, I'm not Faint on the Pinsir. I'm Quick Attack. If I had Faint, I could go for Double Detect easily to scout for the Fake Out, and then next turn I'd be able to go for Faint Bullet Punch into Aerodactyl. I don't have that option, so I just got Double Protect. If this is coaching, I think Aerodactyl probably still goes down to Bullet Punch plus Faint or Quick Attack. They go for Fake Out into the Scizor. They Tailwind, which is fine. I'm not too concerned about the Sneasler at the current moment. I don't need Mold Breaker here, but does a flying type hurt me or help me? It's kind of neutral here. So I think my best play is just to go for a Quick Attack and Bullet Punch into Aerodactyl. I don't know if they expect that or know if I have the combination, but I just go for it. Alright. Because we need that damage into Aerodactyl. They're probably going to go for close combat, probably with the Sneasler, which is fine. Okay, they didn't expect it, so I do get the Quick Attack Bullet Punch combination Arrow. That's huge. So I do get rid of Aerodactyl. That is a Rock Slide spammer against me. That is a Rock Slide spammer against me. So Aerodactyl goes down. Beautiful. Beautiful. And close combat. Not too surprising. Scizor should eat. Yep. Are you White Herb? You are White Herb. Okay. Because I don't think Quick Attack KOs Sneasler, if I'm not mistaken. It could be a question mark. Maushold coming in. Well, with Friend Guard, they definitely do. But I do have Earthquake, so I do have a very safe Earthquake line into Protect that I could go for. Or I could go for Body Slam, but I kind of like the Protect angle plus Earthquake, because unless it's population bound Mousehold, I should be pretty safe. So is this follow me close combat? They do follow me. Alright. Dire Claw? They Dire Claw, okay. Bad para. Okay, we do get the Earthquake off, good. I'm curious what their last is, but good damage to the Sneasler and the Mousehold. Is it? Yeah, I think we're in a pretty alright spot. Except Como's still a little bit concerning, but granted, I think I'm still okay. I'm going to go for a Quick Attack plus a Bullet Punch here. Quick Attack in the Sneasler, Bullet Punch the Mouse. They're going to follow me, spam, which is fine. Bullet Punch plus Quick Attack should knock out Mouse, unless it's maybe Citrus. Good damage. It is Citrus, okay. But the next priority move will get it, so that's alright. They probably have to target down the Pinsir too, yep. Nice. So now I actually get, assuming I don't get parried, I do get a double knockout here. So that's actually really good for me. So I will go for a Quick Attack, and I am going to go for a Bullet Punch. Actually, I should have Bullet Punch to Sneeze or Quick Attack to Mousehold. Yeah, because if Mousehold protects and I get paralyzed with the Pinsir, this is not ideal. But right now, I mean, I am threatening. All right, they just forfeit. Fair enough. They can't beat the Pinsir, looks like. They kind of realized they took too much damage. They probably didn't expect to double in the arrow, and I got the KO. Beautiful. All right, we have Tyranitar, Excadrill, Rotom Wash, Corviknight, Sinistra, and Como. This is sand, and sand is never fun for this team. They don't have a fire type, though, which is very helpful, but Corviknight is also pretty rough. I won't. This is super rough. This is very rough because I need probably I need Volcarona for the Corviknight, but it's not great into almost everything else. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I probably need to bring Pinsir because I need the Mold Breaker EQ. I probably need Wide Guard. The question is, do I need Sunny Day? I guess if it's probably Mega T-Tar or Mega Excadrill. I think I need Scizor to lead to get close combat off to threaten the sand at least. I think T-Tar plus Pinsir isn't a terrible lead, because as long as they don't lead Corv, it's alright. And I think in the back I need like Volk plus Vivian. I'm just gonna have to hope that they give me the sand mode earlier. There's not really like an easy lead here, I think, against my opponent. Because a Rocknade is just like so slow and vulnerable to a lot of the mons on their team. And it's just, sure I can Wide Guard, but I don't think it helps. So let's see if I can beat the weather. Tyranitar Excadrill, that's not too surprising. Versus Scizor Pinsir. Okay, step one of the process. On probably double rock slide. We're going to close combat the Excadrill, and we're going to protect the Pinsir. Because it should be Sash on the Excadrill. They're not going to fall for a fighting move, so it makes sense that they're switching out the T-Tar and the Corviknight. That actually is perfect. That's actually perfect. They did go for Rock Slide. If Scizor doesn't flinch, we're in a really good situation. Okay, nice. Big close combat should bring you down to Sash. Yep. I assume it's Sash Excadrill on this team. The rest is going to be a bit concerning, but still manageable, I suppose. I do activate the White Herb. Okay. So I'm going to set up a Swords Dance with Scizor, and I'm just going to go for a Quick Attack with my my Pinsir. I do want to save my Mold Breaker in case of Rotom. So I'm going to Quick Attack and I'm going to try to Swords Dance. Let's see if they Brave Bird or not. Because I wasn't sure if they were going to Brave Bird or not. They could Tailwind here, but I don't know if that gets them anything. Okay, they did Tailwind, so that works out. Because I don't know if that gets them anything. Because I think now I just double up with Close Combat plus Quick Attack into the Excadrill slot, and they have no switch. I guess they have Sinisha, but do I... Maybe they could have brought Sinisha. I think it's highly unlikely. But yeah, I'm going to double up the Excadrill. Because if they give me T-Tar on the switch to preserve Excadrill, that's really good for me here. They should just give me the Excadrill realistically. But they don't, so what's coming in? Como. Okay, that's actually still fine for me, regardless. So I do get a Quick Attack off. As they go for Brave Bird, they do target the Scizor, which is probably one of the biggest threats to them. Take some recoil. The thing is, Close Combat doesn't knock out Core, so there's no reason to target the Core right now. Close Combat actually KOs Como. Beautiful. Very nice. Alright, so Como's gone. That was actually probably the easiest mon for me to handle, unfortunately, so it's not like it's an amazing spot, but I actually do think that this is a decent position. Tyranitar in. How many turns of Tailwind? 2, right? Yeah, 2 turns of Tailwind. I need to get Vivian in so I can Rage Powder Threaten. I think I'm just going to throw off a Mega Evolve Quick Attack so I get the most damage into T-Tar. And then can Rage Powder with my Vivian. They're going to Mega Evolve their T-Tar, which makes sense. Okay. Does T-Tar lift a +2 Bullet Punch? I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Even with the Quick Attack damage. But at this point, I kind of have to hope for things to go right for me anyway. So I think this is 100% worth it. Alright. Bring out the Mega Pinsir. Okay, they protect. That's fine. If they Brave Birded, this works out. As we Quick Attack. They're always going to Brave Bird Rock Slide, I think, anyway. They Brave Bird the Scizor. Perfect. Okay. Okay, ideally they KO the Scizor the next turn. I'm actually going to go for Bullet Punch into the T-Tar, and I'm going to protect the Pinsir because I need one Quick Attack mon for Excadrill, because if I don't have one for Excadrill, it's actually kind of ugly. Or I could see a different line I could approach. No. No, I should protect. I should protect. Yeah, there's one line I could see. I was debating about getting a double swap into Volcarona plus Vivian, but if they switch out T-Tar, I'd lose the game probably. So here comes a Bullet Punch. How much does this do? Yeah, I don't think Quick Attack was KOing the Tyranitar. Okay, they go for Rock Slide. KOs the Scizor. Okay. I think we're in good shape. Because the T-Tar would have to be Jolly here for me to have a problem, I'm pretty sure. I get to go Vivian, and I get to click Sleep Powder into the Corviknight. And I can go for an Earthquake here, because it also covers Corviknight switching out into Exca. If Tyranitar on their side isn't Jolly, and most Mega Tyranitars I assume are Adamant, Pinsir should be faster than the Tyranitar. I take the knockout into Tyranitar, I take the knockout into Excadrill, they switch in. I Sleep Powder Corviknight so it's unable to move this turn and can't go for a Brave Bird or anything. I think this is a pretty decent situation. Oh, especially if they switch out. Perfect. So Excadrill is coming in, that makes sense. And I do land the Sleep Powder into the Corv. Excellent. And now I don't even have to risk the speed because I can go for Tailwind with Vivian the next turn. Or I could Sunny Day. Sunny Day is not bad either. I kind of like Sunny Day. Oh, wait. I can't Tailwind here because I have Oh yeah, I can't Tailwind. Wait, this could come down to Corv waking up, which would be really annoying. Yeah, this could come down to Corv waking up. Alright, we need a sunny day to make sure that we don't go down to anything, and we are going to go for an Earthquake. They should protect and try to wake up a Corv to get a Tailwind up, but it's not like there's no punish that I have here, unfortunately. There's like nothing I can do to get myself out of the situation. I need the 2-turn sleep. Alright, Earthquake goes off into the protect. Okay. Now I need no double. If they do get a double, I need either Hurricane Confusion or some kind of RNG. So we're going to go for Hurricane and into the Corviknight because we can get an extra chance for a Confusion, and we can go for Earthquake. Yeah, this was scary. Actually, maybe I should have swapped. There's nothing I could have done because I still needed Corviknight to stay asleep regardless, because there's no way I could get Tailwind up myself in this game. Reasonably. Yeah, okay, I outspeed the Tyranitar. That's perfect. So Tyranitar goes down, but the Corviknight is probably losing the game unless they dodge a bunch of Heat Waves. Yeah, they go for Brave Bird. Vivian survives. I have the Focus Sash intact. I can go for Sleep Powder into Corv. And a Body Slam, I suppose. Like, just build up damage into Corv. Oh, actually, is this a bad play? I don't think... maybe it is, because not having Vulcan isn't ideal, actually. Let's see how much damage does this do. Actually, that does some pretty good damage. So I can Hurricane Body Slam, and I think that's alright, actually. Yeah, because I'm building up way too much damage into Corv. And if they ever Brave Bird, they take too much recoil. So yeah, I just go for Hurricane Body Slam. And they would have to Roost this turn. Or, I guess, next turn. But that's fine because they would get threatened by a combination of Earthquake, Sleep Powder if they Tailwind this turn. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, we missed the Hurricane, but that's fine. I get a Body Slam off into Corv. Decent damage. They take another Sleep turn. I mean, granted, I still have Volcarona in the back. As long as Volcarona comes in and hits the Heat Wave, like the game-winning Heat Wave, we're fine. Like, that's realistically how it would go. We go for Hurricane, we go for Body Slam. I cannot believe we beat Sand with this, with Mega Pinsir. Luckily, I think the turn 1 just played out super well. And I got what I needed, which is what you kind of need when you use this kind of mono team. You need everything to go right. You need the sleep turns to work out with the Vivian. You kind of need to get like every call right. And thankfully, I kind of did do all of those. So Hurricane puts it in Body Slam range, and Pinsir will be able to knock out a Corviknight. Did you ever think that Vivian plus Mega Pinsir could 2v1 a Corviknight? Well, you just saw it. You just saw it. Alright, we have Venusaur, Charizard, Whimsicott, Milotic with Arcanine and Garchomp. So we have Sun and Garchomp. Never a fun combination for us to handle, but we have Scarf Cleaver, which is pretty good against the Charizard. Unfortunately, dealing with the Garchomp is a concern. So I think I bring a Rock on it, just so if they lead like Garchomp plus Charizard, I can go for Stone X plus Ice Beam. Yes, and then in the back, Arcanine is actually, how do I really beat Arcanine? Arcanine in Sun. Great. I think I gotta bring Pinsir And then it's probably Vivian, so I can at least throw off one Sleep Powder into the Arcanine. This is bad. Charizard, Garchomp, Arcanine are going to be pretty bad to handle. And then last Mon, I don't know. Milotic is going to be hard to break through with the team. We'll see. But if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like. It really does help out. And I'm doing more calls to action because it does actually remind a lot of you. So if you do enjoy the videos and want to support the channel freely, that is the best way. Okay, Charizard plus Whimsicott. Well, I'm clicking Stone Axe into Hydro Pump. Because if they have if they just go for Tailwind, Weather Ball, and KO the Cleaver, then I gotta hope that Hydro Pump puts the Charizard into range. Wait, they switched out to Charizard into Arcanine? What? Wait, that's so big for me. As I go for Tailwind. Wait, I get a huge Stone Axe off. Nice. That's 50% of the Charizard with rocks. That's massive. You don't know how massive that is for me. Okay. East of Citrus Berry. I went for Hydro Pump too. If we land a Hydro. We do land a Hydro. I have no words. I have no words. Why'd they go Arcanine? Did they only have spread boost on the Charizard? Is it like Heat? What would you even have? Usually it's like Heat Wave, Weather Balls, Solar Beam. Garchomp comes in. Wait, this is really good for me. Okay, I mean, it's still not an easy game, but it's a manageable one. I think I always go to Pinsir and I click Wide Guard or I click Ice Beam. I think I just click Wide Guard. Yeah, I think I click Wide Guard. I think they're clicking Moonblast Rock Slide into my Araquanid. Or they could click Encore into Araquanid as well, because they saw that I'm special. But I think Wide Guard is the best play here. Yeah, they clicked Rock Slide, which is huge for me. Okay. And Moonblast into Araquanid. No, they tired the Pinsir. Okay, that makes it a bit weird. That's actually okay for me though. I think my best play is to go for a Quick Attack into the Whimsicott and probably an Ice Beam also into the Garchomp. Or is it to Ice Beam the Winds, double up the Whims? It might be double up the Whims. I don't know if it's Scarf Garchomp. They might be hesitant to switch out, or they might Dragon Claw read, which is why I'm thinking double up the Whims. I think double up the Whims is safe. Oh wait, we saw the Garchomp move before. Well, that doesn't indicate anything because the Whims could be slow on this team. So I guess we'll find out if it's Scarf Chomp potentially. They go for Taunt, so it might be Scarf Chomp. I think it might be Scarf Chomp by the way they're playing this. I do get the Quick Attack off. I think this is Rock Slide. Okay, if I just need to get this Ice Beam off. If I get this Ice Beam off, I think I have a guaranteed path to victory. Or maybe not guaranteed, but it's like really likely. I gotta go Cleaver. That's really unlucky. This last turn Tailwind, I need to get the turn right. I think my best play is to KO the Whims with U-turn and swap out into Araquanid into Vivian. Man, why did it flinch to one turn? Because I think I had a really great way to seal up the end game. Okay, we bring out the Vivian to sack it. They Encore. Okay, wait, that works out. Please, please Cleaver. Please Cleaver. That's huge because that didn't KO. All I needed was to... Oh, wait. No, this is still fine. This is still fine. Okay. As long as the Charizard doesn't have Tailwind itself. U-turn should KO Whims. Oh, no. Actually, no, this is still fine. I might have to do some maneuvering, however. This is either Moonblast or this is... I don't think you're never clicking Tailwind in this position. You could click Taunt here. I might be in a checkmate scenario if they go for a Taunt here. I'm hoping that they go for a Moonblast. Wait, they're not Scarf Chomp? Oh my god, I was playing like they were Scarf Chomp the entire time. What does this mean? Okay, they click Tailwind. It might be 3 ground moves? Question mark? Oh, that was so bad of the flinch that one turn, man. I need to U-turn the Whim. So I need to U-turn the Whims. I need to get a Wide Guard off because at this point I'm just hoping that it's like double ground move Rock Slide Chomp. They go for Encore to lock me into Wide Guard. That's fine. Why did they do that earlier? Okay, I get a U-turn off into Whims. I take the KO on the Whims. Is this game winnable? Maybe? It's probably not. Oh, that flinch was so bad, man. Vivian. There's nothing I can do, unfortunately. The reason why it's a lock into the Whims is because if I KO the Whims there, that means that I could have like a Rockrunet next to Cleaver. I could focus down the Charizard with Stone Axe and be in such a good position because they wouldn't have been able to reset Tailwind. Now, since they were able to reset Tailwind, the game is lost. I'm trying to think if there's any situation where I could potentially win. He turns to Tailwind. I don't even have Protect, so yeah, this is just... It's just cooked. It's just cooked. Unless they go for double spread moves for no reason. Or some kind of mess up like Dragon Claw and... I don't know, they miss Overheat or something. Like, this is so disappointing. Because I had such a good turn 1. And I had a really great position. Yeah, they declaw. Yeah, Air Slash KOs a Rockrunet. I would have needed to, like, what? Dodge the Air Slash. Even then, it's not looking too good because they could probably just double up the Cleaver slot the next turn. Rock Slide, man. Alright, we have Aerodactyl, Torkoal, Farigiraf, Sneasler, Kangaskhan, plus Dragapult. What am I looking at here? Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? So they have a Trick Room Torkoal mode and they have Aerodactyl. And I'm using MonoBug. Alright, I think lead-wise, I think it's Scizor plus Cleaver is probably the best offensive lead I can really go for in general against this team. I have to bring a Rockrunet because otherwise the Torkoal mode could be really scary. And then last one, is it Volk or Pinsir? I think it might be Pinsir because I like the quick attack I might need even if there is Farigiraf. I don't know which mode they're going though. They could go like Kang Aerodactyl or they could go like Kang Farigiraf, like Trick Room or Tailwind, just because both modes are pretty impressive to me. I have not been very fortunate with Rock Slides, though. I have not been fortunate with Rock Slides. Okay, they lead Scizor. I lead Scizor Cleaver versus Sneasler plus the Aerodactyl. I'm willing just to go for a Stone Axe immediately, and I am going to go for a Bullet Punch into the Arrow. Because I don't think they're switching for Farigiraf. If they do switch in for Farigiraf, that's fine. Because that means, at worst, they get one attack off. Yeah, they go for a Fake Out, which is fine, into Cleaver. They do know I am Scarf. though. After this turn, I do get a Bullet Punch off an arrow and bring it down to Sash. And they're going to go for Rock Slide. Yep. Okay. Now the question is Farigiraf coming out? Because I could Bullet Punch the arrow. Actually, is my best play just to Aerial Ace the Sneasler and Bullet Punch? It might be. I think it is worth going for. I think I will go for it. If they switch in for Farigiraf for the Aerodactyl slot for the Sneasler to get an attack off, I get an Aerial Ace. But if I just disrespect the Farigiraf and they don't switch in, I get a double knockout here. I should get a double knockout, right? Aerial Ace, Technician, or not Technician. I really did not KO Sneasler by 1. Okay. Although, it's still not terrible. Did they bring Farigiraf at this point? Like if it's Kang, I might expect Kangaskhan Torkoal in the back and no Farig. Which is interesting. I'm bringing out Pinsir here. Torkoal comes in, okay. I do have Earthquake, which is pretty nice here. I think my best play is just to Mega Evolve Earthquake and just protect the Scizor. Because Scizor healthy is nice in general. Do they have Farigiraf? They're not bringing it out. It might be Kang. If it's Kangaskhan back, it's looking kind of concerning, but it might be manageable. It protects Sneasler, which is okay for me. Okay. As I protect the Scizor. And I get an Earthquake off. The Earthquake will do good damage to the Torkoal. And even though I'm probably going down to some Eruption, that's fine. I get a free switch to a Rocknet and threats in Bullet Punch Hydro Pump the next turn. Oh, look at that damage. That did more than I thought. Is that a crit? I was about to say, like, I was pretty sure I couldn't close combat Earthquake knockout. They went for Weather Ball into the Scizor. I cannot believe we won this. I cannot believe we won this. Alright, Corviknight, King Gambit, Milotic, Glimmora, Farigiraf, and Sneasler. Corviknight is a big problem. They have really slow mons though in general. Scizor is really threatening, but of course Farigiraf plus Glimmora, not fun to deal with. Am I bringing a Rockon in this? I just don't know. Hydro Pump's not bad. But I do like having Vivian, Volcarona, I think, lead-wise. Yeah, Vivian, Volcarona is pretty okay as a lead. Sleep Powder, Threatened Heat Wave combination. Because I don't know that you lead Glim because of the Scizor threat, but we'll see. The problem is if they lead like Sneeze or Glim, I'm in a really bad spot. Although, are you going to really lead that? It's hard to say. I think I bring Pinsir because I also have access to EQ, which gives me some decent damage into the Glim as well as the King Gambit. I don't know, it's kind of tough. A Rocket's kind of weird to bring here. There's no spread moves. That's really worth it. Let's see. Glimmora, Corviknight. Okay. Very weird, but manageable. It's just going to come down to some reads. I could Rage Powder Heat Wave, but I think my best play is just to Sleep Powder Protect. If they Spiky Shield Tailwind, we're in really rough shape. But we'll see. Ideally, I get Sleep Powder off into Glim. As they try to Power Gem KO to Volcarona so the Corviknight's safe. And it looks like that's going to be the case. So that's really ideal here. Okay? So Glim Mega Evolves. I assume this is Power Gem in the Volk. They could double up the Vivian, but that's okay by me. Okay, that's fine. Ideally, this would have been Sunny Day Heat Wave or Sleep Powder Heat Wave, but this is acceptable. I do get the Sunny Day off, or the Sleep Powder off. I also don't have to worry about T-Spikes going up in this game. Oh, they Tailwind. Okay. So Vivian gets to live another day potentially. I have to Rage Powder here. I have to Rage Powder and Heat Wave. Or I could Tailwind, but like, does Tailwind get me anything? Not really. Since I still have to play passive regardless. I'm going to go for Heat Wave. So this is Glim's guaranteed first turn of sleep. They're going to Brave Bird. Yep. Goodbye, Vivian. I think next turn they're going to swap out into Farigiraf. Oh, please hit the Corviknight. Come on, game. I need 2 turns sleep. Yeah, I need 2 turns sleep. Unless I didn't bring Farigiraf. I don't know. It's just really hard for me to see them not justify it. I think I just go hard into Pinsir. I can never risk Volcarona. They didn't switch out hard into Farigiraf, so that gives me some avenue, I suppose. Pinsir might live 1 Brave Bird, but we'll see. They power gemmed the Pinsir. Okay, maybe there's a shot. Brave Bird. Oh, that 2 shots my Scizor 2. Yeah, I needed things to really line up here, and it's just not. I can double protect this turn. Maybe they didn't bring Farigiraf, because if you didn't bring Farigiraf, that play probably lost to me Bullet Punching. Even then, it doesn't seem likely. Okay, I just don't think they brought Farigiraf at this point. Maybe if Heat Wave crits the Volk, or if the Corviknight has a lot of attack, because maybe it does. Because I feel like it should not be 2-shotting Scizor. Because Scizor's a really decently defensive mon. I know it's a strong Brave Bird, but like, it's not like Corviknight's attacks that stack great. I could also call Corviknight Tailwinding, Glamora protecting, or not Tailwinding, going for Brave Bird. But as I'm very far behind, if they make the Giraffe play, it's over anyway. But I feel like you had several turns to make the Giraffe play, and I don't get why you would risk it. Okay, if Heat Wave KOs for some reason, we're in this. They gave me the Glim. Crit doesn't. That's not the crit I need. Scizor, I'm glad you're helping. Can Volcarona, you gotta clutch up here, because you didn't clutch up when you missed a Heat Wave earlier. That wasn't even a crit? Wow. I'm shocked that wasn't a crit. Okay, what do you have in the back? Do I have a chance? Please give me... Okay, Milo is good. Sneasler. Okay, wait. This might actually have a chance. I might have a chance. We don't know if it's Sash or White Herb on the Sneasler, so I think I have to go for Heat Wave. They probably just double up the Scizor, I imagine. Yeah, Fake Out. Perfect. We hit a Heat Wave. That's good. Crit the Milo. Not like I really need it. They Muddy Water. Okay, Muddy Water doesn't knock out Scizor, so that's good. That's very, very good. Volk takes that extremely well. Wait, do we win this? I'm shocked they didn't bring Farigiraf, because I thought Farigiraf plus Glim was very good against me. Granted, this game's not over. We don't know the sets, but we will Giga Drain and we will go for Bullet Punch. Giga Drain will get me some good recovery from the Milo. Okay, I get a Bullet Punch off. I KO the Sneasler. If I survive this turn with Scizor, the game's over. Did we just have a comeback? I really didn't expect to win this. I really did not expect to win this. I was like, that was so bad. Because, like, one, this Volk doesn't have much special attack investment. Corviknight, like, it must have been, like, max attack and not much bulk. Scizor dodged. Oh, my goodness. I think the way I don't mess this up is by going for Giga Drain plus a Protect. The reason I think it's this is because I think that if I go for like Tailwind Close Combat and I do that, and if they survive, I just lose. So I think I always go for Giga Drain for the recovery first on the Volk, so I live another Muddy Water. Then I can Tailwind CC, even if they get the Muddy Water Act drop. Yeah, and it looks like I would have lived Crypt barely too, so that's perfect. Now the game is locked because I can close combat. I was in such a, like, so down into we're so back moment. I cannot believe this was won. I genuinely cannot believe this was won. I cannot believe this was won. Because my luck has been pretty bad with this team. But somehow managed. Like, I cannot believe it. I cannot. Alright, we have Talonflame, Milotic, Aegislash, the Eternal Floette, Garchomp, and Basculegion. Talonflame, interesting Mega here. Or not Mega, interesting Fire type here. I really like Cleaver. The problem is Basque is also pretty rough. Aegislash is rough too. There's a lot of rough Pokemon here. How do I beat the Basque consistently? I think I need to lead Cleaver. I just don't beat Talonflame at all. I should keep Scizor in back. I probably need I probably lead a Rockrunnit plus Cleaver. Because if they lead like Garchomp Talon, I at least direct an Ice Beam into it. Do I bring Volcarona? I feel like I need Scizor for the Floette. And I feel like priority is going to be important with the Pinsir. Because like maybe +2 Bullet Punch into Quick Attack knocks out Bass. So I think that's probably worth going for. But I don't think it does. Let's see what they go. Alright, let's see what they go here lead-wise. Aegislash Talon. Okay, interesting. Versus Cleaver Rockrunnit. I don't think I mind this. It kind of depends on their set, but I do think that Stone Axe into Talon is pretty good and going for a Hydro Pump. I guess the question is how fast is this Aegislash? Is my Rockrunnit going to be faster than the Aegislash? I guess we'll find out. I don't know if you're going to actually Tailwind immediately. Oh, they did Tailwind immediately. Okay, I think Cleaver should outspeed with the Scarf unless the Aegislash is really fast. It's really fast on this team. Okay. Poltergeist. Okay. They found out I'm Choice Scarf, but that's acceptable. Wow, that did a lot. Stone Axe hits. We KO the Talon. We get the rocks up. That's really good. If we land a Hydro, this is a really good spot. Surprised they didn't Iron Head, but that really works out. Okay. That should KO. Oh, barely. Oh, it might be Sash Aegislash. Yeah. Sash Aegislash is kind of a thing sometimes. It picked up towards the end of Gen 8 for anyone who has played like the older formats, because Aegislash was always generally a slow mod, but during Gen 8, during the Dynamax era, they really tended to run Sash more. Floette in. Scizor's looking really good here now. Scizor's looking fantastic. Poltergeist is gonna hurt though. This might be Poltergeist Dazzling Gleam. I think I just Stone X the Floet. Did I just go for damage? I just don't know if they Wide Guard. I think Wide Guard Poltergeist is pretty reasonable from them. I'm gonna Wide Guard. I'm gonna attempt it. Because I do think that Poltergeist makes sense into the Araquanid and Dazzling Gleam to get a double knockout. So let's see. Okay, I was right. And now I should put the Float into range of Bullet Punch. Okay, this is really, really good for me. Although Bask is in the back, it's still a problem. Okay, they actually went for the Cleaver, which is fine by me. I do not mind that. Okay. So I'm actually going to go into Scizor. I always go to Scizor. And now I threaten Bullet Punch into the Floet. So I'm actually going to go for Bullet Punch into Aegislash because I am kind of worried about Aegislash mainly. If I attack into King Shield, I do have at least the White Herb. And I'm going to Ice Beam the Floet in case they try to go Garchomp or Protect. It could be Aegislash ranging on a Garchomp though, so maybe I should Ice Beam that slot. But they go for the Protective Floet, which is good. Nice. Goodbye, Aegislash. Alright, really good turn. As I attempted to Ice Beam the Floet. Basculegion is the final mod, not surprising. Last Respect gets a KO here. But they can't get a double knockout, which is the important part. I think this is going to be target calls. Well, Last Respect doesn't KO unless... I think they have to double the Scizor to take the KO. I could protect the Scizor and Hydro Pump the Bask. If they double my Araquanid, really good play, but I think that this is the ideal situation. I need to get damage in the Bask. Did they target my Scizor or did they target my Araquanid? They did target Scizor. Okay, wait, this is really good. Because I do get damage. I do get the damage, that's massive. Okay, I need a bit more damage to put in quick attack range 100%, but this is really good. Alright, I got multiple turns correct, which is really nice. Now I can go for Bullet Punch into Floet, and I can go for a Hydro Pump again. And we target the Bask. We gotta land some Hydros. They go for a double protect. Fail. I don't know Bullet Punch KOs. Probably not, I think, after rocks. I think it barely lives. Or lives a bit more, but okay. Although I didn't KO. I'm kind of surprised they went for a double protect. Because they saw that I would... Oh, they didn't see my item, actually. Last Respect KOs the Scizor. Please hit this Hydro. Okay. We don't KO the Bass, but that's fine. Because now we can go to Pinsir. They're Scarf Bask usually on this team. That means I can go for a Mega Evolution Quick Attack. And that'll turn me into Flying type, so I can actually hit the Basculegion with the Quick Attack. And I can go for a... I think Pinsir should live a Dazzling Gleam since I'm max HP. So I guess we're gonna go for another Hydro into Floet. It might have been a mistake. Well, here's the thing. If Dazzling Gleam does KO Pinsir, I do need to go for Hydro. If it doesn't, like, then I just Quick Attack, right? So I think no matter what, Hydro's the play. So I get the KO into the Bask. Huge. They go for Gleam. I guess I could have Wide Guarded, but that's... Yeah, that actually did way less to Pinsir than I thought. Maybe they have a lot of physical defense. I KO'd a Floet. And we win. A lot of target calls, a lot of guesses, a lot of them done right. Not much to say otherwise. All right, we have Aerodactyl, Incineroar, Como, Mega Starmie, it looks like, King Gambit, and Sinisha. Could be dual Mega. I kind of doubt it. All right, so Mega Starmie is actually concerning too. Yeah, Mega Starmie can be concerning. I do really like Cleaver though. Cleaver's pretty solid against my opponent's team, especially the rocks would actually be pretty decent here. I do want to bring Scizor. Do I bring the Volcarona? Because I don't really like Volcarona here. I think probably not. Do I like the Pinsir here? Quick Attack's not bad. For the Aerodactyl, for the flying coverage into the Como, I don't think it's that bad. I would like a Rockrunnid though, so I can actually hit. Yeah, I think probably a Rockrunnid plus Cleaver is not a bad lead, so I can threaten the attacks. Because Hydro Pump actually threatens a lot of damage with Scizor, Pinsir, and back. Vivillon might have been nice because of the Sleep Powder. Sleep Powder is really, of course, amazing against these kinds of teams, but especially the slower stuff like Gambit. But if I play more offensive, it shouldn't be too bad. We'll see. Aerodactyl, Incineroar versus Cleaver, Rockrunnid. Alright, I'm going for a Stone Axe into the Aerodactyl, and I'm going to attempt the Hydro Pump into the Incineroar. I try to get a KO here if I can, because I think the only way I could get knocked out is probably Fake Out into a Rockrunnid Rock Slide. Which is not great, but it's not like too bad. They do Fake Out my Rockrunnid. Stone Axe does hit the arrow. Beautiful. Okay. Brings it down to Sash. Rocks are up. They go for Rock Slide. Rockrunnid actually took that really well. Okay. Took it better than I thought, actually. So I can go for Stone Axe into the arrow slot, and I can threaten the Hydro Pump. We'll find out who's faster between Rockrunnid and Incin, because we didn't get to find out a speed interaction. But yeah, the Aerodactyl is basically useless for the rest of the game. I don't want it to get a Rock Slide though, because if it gets a Rock Slide, it gets a double knockout. I know Arrow probably protects here, but even if it does, that's fine. They could sack it realistically, because the Arrow doesn't really provide much value, but they do go for Protect, which is okay. Ideally, we outspeed the Incin and KO it. No, it's faster. But they target my Cleaver. Okay, wait, hold up. Rockrunnid, you got me? You got me with this. Nice. That's a huge pump. So Incineroar goes down, which is fantastic. And now I can go out into Scizor to threaten the arrow. They're going to give me the Aerodactyl because there's no reason to like switch out arrow because it goes down to rocks anyway. Unless they want Hospitality, their Sinisha back, but I just don't see it. Let's find out what their last two are. Starmie might be coming in. No, it's Como. Okay, if it's Como, that's fine, because I like the idea of getting an Ice Beam. Or I could Wide Guard Sword Stance. But if they go for Clang or Soul, I'd rather get the Ice Beam damage, so I'm going to go for Ice Beam. They can't knock out a Rockrunnid, I think, unless they Clang Scales, but they do, they lower their defense, so that's fine. So, Aerodactyl goes down. Ideally, this is not some random fire move Como, and I'm good. They go for Clangers Soul. Okay. They're going to be put in range of Quick Attack from my Pinsir, so I did bring the right Mons, it looks like. It just depends on the last. Here comes Ice Beam. Never Melt Ice. Decent damage. Okay, this should be Starmie. Okay. Rocks into Starmie is nice. I'm going for Hydro Pump plus Protect. If they go for Clanging Scales, this is the best case scenario. The Starmie I could lose to, though. Starmie I do have to watch out for. Like, it's an actual threat. Okay, no Protect from the Como. It was probably living Bullet Punch anyway, so that's fine. They go for Aura Spear into the Araquanid. Okay. As long as Starmie doesn't have a setup move, we're good. Liquidation. Okay, it's not... Liquidation's easier to deal with. So we can go out on a Pinsir, and now we threaten Quick Attack Bullet Punch. I guess the question is, do they protect? But it's a lot of what-ifs. They might think I have Feint, so they might never protect. If they don't know the team, so I'm just going to go for Quick Attack Bullet Punch. Because they might think they live Bullet Punch with the Como now, which would be fine. Starmie is still concerning. Actually, I still have a line even if they protect Como. It depends on who they target. So here's the Mega Pinsir. We get Aerial Aid, so Quick Attack will affect the Como. Nice. No Protect. Ideally, this KOs. It does KO, so I do get Bullet Punch damage to Starmie, which is really good. Okay. Every bit of damage is going to matter on the Starmie. Yep. They go for Liquidation into the Scizor. Okay. And I do hang on. Okay. I think my best play is just to... probably just Bullet Punch and Body Slam. Because I don't... They protect... Oh, I almost clicked Sword Stance, but I'm like, if they have Aqua Jet, then it doesn't matter if I go for Sword Stance. Come on. Come on. Give me this combo. There are outs for them, though. Like, this is not over yet. Bullet Punch will come out. We need to get as much damage as we possibly can on the Starmie. Good damage. Oh, they're Ice Bear. Does this KO? No shot. Oh, Mega Pinsir clutching it up. Okay, I didn't think Ice Spitter would KO. I'm just glad that we are able to get the Body Press off, KO the Starmie, and that would be GG. Ooh, okay. I did not think it was Ice Spinner, but you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. So, how was the team? I won't say it's the best team out there. Like, it is MonoBug. It's a very hostile format to MonoBug. There's so many Pokemon like Tyranitar, like Excadrill, like Charizard, like Incineroar. Like, there's so many Pokemon that just threaten this team that you really have to get a lot of things right. You can't really afford to miss Hydro Pumps. You can't really afford to miss Sleep Powders or Hurricanes in general. You need everything to go your way across the board. But can the team win games? Yes, it actually can. And we were able to showcase quite a few games where we were able to win. Of course, there were losses as well. Let me just say, if you get like flinched once by Rock Slide, the game probably ends. And let me just say, yes, that happened to me several times. So there were several times where I just get hit by Rock Slide and then the game ends. So you really do need everything to go right. You need to make the right reads as well as make sure that like no bad RNG happens. But can the team win? Yes, it absolutely can. If you would like to check out the details of the team, I will list it down below in the description, as well as the creator. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content. For instance, why don't you check out the previous Mega Evolutions that we have been featuring on this channel, especially the new Mega Evolutions, such as recently we used a Mega Starmie team that you might want to check out.